Hey guys, I wanted to pop on this morning as I'm getting ready here for the day and talk to you a little bit about what healing looks like, what's normal on the healing journey when you're going through stages of a lot of growth and opening. Um, One of the most important aspects of my book, The Restorative Lifestyle Method, is helping you understand what healing looks like. Like, what is it? What am I supposed to be looking for? What happens when I engage in healing practices? Are these feelings, emotions, thoughts, big changes in my life that are happening? Is this normal? Is this supposed to be happening? And there are a number of stories in the book on Substack. But I wanted to share one in particular with you right now because I'm currently in it. Now, I am currently, and it's something I'm just sort of realizing at this moment, that I'm currently going through a massive season of growth and healing. Now, I'm 13 years into my intentional journey. So much healing and unfolding and peeling back of layers has happened over the years, but healing never stops. It happens for the rest of our lives. We're constantly, once we embark on the journey, we're always in this state of discovering new things about ourselves. And I think that probably finally getting my book out into the world and starting to communicate with my audience and really be vulnerable and transparent about my past and about what I've done to sort of transform my life. It's definitely healing. It's opening up parts of my heart. It's peeling back all new layers. It's healing wounds that I maybe haven't tended to before or weren't totally healed. And so I'm in this stage of like accelerated growth, I feel like. And you it's wonderful. I mean, it's like I'm taking breaths deeper than I even knew was possible. Like I'm breathing deeper into my chest, into my belly, into like my whole body. It's almost like I didn't even know there was a weight on my shoulders or this sort of weight on my chest, until that weight was lifted and I'm now finally breathing to new depths, if that makes sense. And it's so freeing, and it makes me feel like so much more is possible, um, in this life and in terms of what I can creatively manifest and the depths that I can experience, my relationships, and there's so much good. But with that good and with the growth, um, comes, it's a little bit like of a shakeup, right? We're now entering into a stage in life where things aren't the same way as they used to be. We don't feel the same way that we used to. We don't have the same tolerances. We don't have the same perspectives. We don't have the same wounds guiding our decisions and our feelings and our emotions. And what that does is it alters how we interact with other people, with ourselves, with the world around us. And I think mostly where I feel the shakeup is in my relationships. Because when you change, the dynamic of all of your relationships is going to shift a little bit too. People may fall away, but also the people that you want to bring along with you on the journey, your relationships have to evolve because you're evolving, right? And so that can be uncomfortable for you. It can be uncomfortable for other people involved, and it's a process, and it can be scary, right? Whenever something changes in our lives, that can be it can be scary because we don't want to lose people. We don't want to, I think we still, if you have an abandonment wound, which I have, and I've resolved so much of, but it never really goes away. It's sort of like we resolve our traumas, but they sort of stay with us as memories, right? And they can always come back into play. And the difference is that we learn how to manage them. But we do become a little bit fearful of losing people that we love, and that's natural, right? Um, but so we have to put in the work. We have to put in the work to evolving those relationships, and the relationships that matter and the relationships that are supposed to stick. you know, you are going to put in that work, and the other person or the group of people who, you know, you're in relationship with, they're going to want to evolve with you. You know, you can't force anyone to heal, but a lot of times if you're in close relationship with somebody or people, multiple people, you know, and they see you changing, you're going to inspire change in them, or they're going to realize that they have to adjust to the new version of you who has essentially been born. And it's really a beautiful thing, but like I said, it can be a little bit scary. And I honestly, I feel like along with all of this growth and healing in this particular season that I'm in, um, comes a little bit of grief, and a lot of release of emotion. I feel like I have cried in bed at night or in the shower more times in the last 4 months than I have in, I mean, the last few years. Seriously. And it's like, life is so good. I mean, I think I'm happier than I ever have been before. I feel more free than I ever have been before. And yet there's more crying and more emotional release than has been in recent times for me. And I just think that that's so interesting, because all of the emotions that are pouring out, and the, you know, the display of those emotions, like crying, or maybe arguing with people you love, or getting into little tiffs or conflicts, and it feels like it's more so than usual, or maybe struggling with the kids, and you're like, why does everyone seem like they're in a funk? And when that's happening in a stage of growth, it can give you the false impression that that things are going downhill instead of uphill. But again, we have to realize that we have to look at the whole, look at the picture as a whole, and say, on average, are things better right now, or are they worse? Do I feel better? Do I feel happier and more free and more peaceful? Or is there lots of arguing and chaos happening, and I actually overall feel crappier too? Like, that's a cause for concern, or not a cause for concern, but like a call for you to journey within and take a look at what's happening. But if you're like I feel right now, which is like, wow, like I am in a better place than I've ever been before. I feel happier, more free, more peaceful, more capable, more creatively inspired. And this is amazing. Like, I love waking up every day. I love my life. I'm just so excited for every day to start. But I'm also noticing that there are lots of emotional things showing up that don't even seem related. They don't even seem related, right? But why are those things happening at the same time as all of this good? And it's because as we break through to new levels of frequency, because we're peeling back the layers, we're healing wounds, we're exposing more and more of our authenticity, we are coming out of whatever frequency we're at and journeying upward on the emotional guidance scale to new levels of frequency. And it's essentially, we're vibrating, we're literally vibrating. This is physics. We're literally vibrating at an all new frequency, and that vibration sort of like shakes things up a little bit in us. And that's exactly what you want. You know, like, you know, crying can feel really good, right? Just having a good cry in the shower in the morning or at night or whenever you shower, that can actually feel really good. You know what I mean? Just cry it out. And sometimes you don't even know why you're crying, but you just have this welling up of emotions. And that's really what you want, because that is your old stored emotions, old stored traumas, just rising to the surface and releasing. They're releasing, and they're traveling out of your body, right? And it's because we have shifted our frequency that we've allowed them to sort of unstuck themselves and release. And so that's what we talk about when we refer to things showing up on the journey. And I first heard that sort of concept of stuff will show up when I did my yoga teacher training. Let's see, it was almost 9 years ago now. I remember at the very beginning of my teacher training, the main instructor was explaining to us that you're going to start moving your body in new ways. You're going to really start journeying inward. And really, this was very early on in my intentional journey also, which it sort of paralleled my yoga teacher training. And she explained to us, you know, things are going to show up. Next weekend or in our next module, you might not want to come because you are resentful of the practice, you're resentful of the training, you don't like one of the teachers, or you don't feel well, or you this or that, right? You might be making all kinds of excuses to not continue with your training, or you might be, starting arguments or fights with the people that you love, because you don't even know why. But moving your body in new ways and in yoga, it's going to stir things up, and you're going to be reacting to essentially the new emotions that you're unstucking, right? And so we don't always understand why things show up, and we don't have to understand. Really, the important part is that we let them flow and we release them. You cry if you have to cry. You rest if you have to rest. You laugh if you have to laugh. Let them come to the surface and come out. And yoga is very well known for being a practice where we move the body um, for the sake of not just peace and sort of a meditative state and doing what's healthy for our physical bodies, but we move our body to allow emotions and energy to flow in a healthy way. And a lot of times that's to allow old stuff to flow outward. It's the same effect when you are healing, removing layers, exposing more of your authenticity, and you're raising your frequency. It's a movement, right? It's a microscopic movement, but it's still a movement. And in the same way, when you're newly engaging in a yoga practice, for example, or any other type of fitness or sport, you're going to shake things up, move things around, and stuff is going to start to come to the surface. And so that can be very confusing for people. I think if I hadn't done my yoga teacher training, I don't even know if I would understand this concept, or I think I would probably be, if you are never exposed to this fact that things show up like that, and you don't always know what it is, you don't always understand it, it can be very off-putting. It can be like, okay, I must be doing something wrong actually, because I'm moodier than I was, I'm irritable, I'm angry, I'm getting in arguments, I'm crying all the time. We start to interpret that as, okay, I'm doing something wrong, something like I'm not doing something right, or I should stop doing this. I should stop practicing yoga. I should stop this healing journey. I should, stop meditating or reading all these personal development books because I don't like what's showing up. This is uncomfortable. Yes, it is going to be uncomfortable because the unknown is uncomfortable, and any kind of change is going to be a little uncomfortable at first. But if you start to see some sort of new emotions or new thoughts, new memories showing up after you've engaged in, beginning your healing journey, like I said, books, some sort of new healing practice, that's actually a really good sign. And the best thing you can do is take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, making sure that you have boundaries in place, you're giving yourself enough time to rest and cry when you need to, but embracing it as part of the journey, because every time something shows up like that and you have a good cry or whatever, you're clearing out more of that trauma. You're clearing out more of those old stuck emotions, which that stuff that's stuck, that's the stuff that wreaks havoc on your life. It's the stuff that sabotages, your dreams, your relationships. You want to let it go so that you have more space for your heart and for your authenticity to shine. So I just wanted to let you know and just kind of share with you that that's something that I'm going through right now as I put my book out into the world. And I feel so free in doing that, and so empowered and so excited to help all of you guys by sharing my journey and the things that have worked for me. That there's also in the background me sitting in my bed and crying at night and saying why do I feel all these things? Oh yeah, this is a big period of growth. This is a big jump in healing, and that's sort of how the healing journey is. It's a journey. It's peaks and valleys, it's winding roads. It's not just this upward trajectory where we're just getting better and better and better and better. You're going to have real high highs, and you might have some lows, and you're going to be twisting and turning, and you don't always know what to expect on the other side of that corner, and if you know what to expect, it's a lot less scary. So I really hope to bring some context to that, around that for you guys, especially those of you who are new to the journey. Expect the unexpected. I guess that's my message, and don't be put off by what we deem negative emotions, because at the end of the day, if no negative emotions are coming to the surface, then you got to dig a little deeper. You got to engage in the healing process, the active healing process, a little bit more. And what I always say, you know, in the restorative lifestyle method and a lot of my videos and articles is healing is an active process. We propel the journey forward through action by doing new things and exploring ourselves in different contexts, and engaging with people and learning as we go. You know, yeah, sure, there's rest involved and there's things like meditation involved, but the healing journey, you got to go out and discover yourself. And that's why we call it a journey, you know? And you just have to, yeah, like I said, expect the unexpected. Leverage people like me, who are out here to share the journey and to really be honest and open with you about what this all looks like and what it feels like and what works, what's worked for us, what hasn't worked for us. And it's not just me. There are tons of other people out there who are, you know, honest and open about what the healing journey looks like after surviving any kind of traumatic event. I particularly talk about childhood trauma and family dysfunction, and what it's like to be an adult child and to be raising kids as an adult child, and breaking cycles. Did I say that already? So yeah, that's just some context for you, and I hope it's helpful. I will put this video up somewhere for you guys to find it. And again, if you made it all the way to the end, thanks for listening. And again, my book, The Restorative Lifestyle Method, 4 Steps to Trauma-Informed Holistic Healing and Empowerment for Adult Children, is fully published. Well, new chapters are publishing regularly, but it will be fully published. And there are 15 chapters currently available on some SUBSTACK. So it's an electronic form right now. I'll maybe have it printed someday, but right now I really love the ease and accessibility of the digital space, because not only can you go in and read the chapters, but you can leave me a question or a comment down below and I can sort of give you my input. You can engage with like-minded community. And if you do, so the introduction and the first 3 chapters are free over on Substack. And if you decide to keep reading, which I hope you do, it's just a $12 per month subscription, which you can cancel when you're done reading if you want to, or you can stick around on the subscription side of things and engage with like-minded community. And I do offer coaching packages to my paid subscribers, you know, for one-on-one. I won't always offer one-on-one coaching, but as I'm getting, you know, started with the book out into the world, I will be offering that just as a little bit of extra connection with the community. So if that is something that's of interest to you, definitely head over to Substack. I don't know, wherever you're watching this video right now. If you're on YouTube, I will include a link down below so you can get to everything very easily. If you're on Instagram or Facebook or somewhere like that, there's a link in my bio and you can head over very easily. And like I said, start to read the book, introduction and first 3 chapters for free. So there's a little, I have a plant in my bathroom that seems to have a little fruit fly problem. I'll have to take care of that. But yeah, so anyway, I hope this was helpful. If you're emotional right now and you're experiencing big leaps in growth, don't worry, just take care of yourself. And if you have not yet started on your healing journey, I'm here to help you. Go read the book and don't be worried. Actually, you should be reassured if you see new emotions starting to show up for you. That's just part of the process. So if you're new here, I'd love for you to hit that thumbs up if this video was helpful. Leave me a comment down below, subscribe so you get alerted when I release these kind of videos, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye guys.